Good afternoon, everyone. So my story started in my 12th standard. Might sound funny now, but the only mission of my life back then was to clear an MCQ examination that all of you might have heard of, the JEE. I wanted to get into an IIT so bad that I made it my life goal to get into a college. Not realizing that few years down the line, IITians are going to work under me. I should have had better goals. But that is the only goal that a 12th standard student could come up with. So yes, I gave JEE, barely scored marks enough to get into a college whose name I hadn't even heard of. And all of a sudden there were voices in my head. Naman, what about your dream? You wanted an IIT. Will you settle for this? That voice is called ego. And don't get me wrong, ego can make you do wonderful things if used right. Or in the words of Michael Jordan, ego is a necessary fuel, not a flaw, because it does not allow you to settle for average and always makes you level up. So I was thinking about taking a drop. I was thinking about sitting at home for one entire year just to reattempt JEE. Sounds gutsy, doesn't it? So yeah, now if I fail, I will not only be called a failure, but I will be lagging 1 year behind than my peers. At this point of time, I asked myself two simple questions. Listen very carefully because these two questions are going to define my life in every phase of time. Question number one, what is the worst that could happen if I took this risk, if I took the drop year? Question number two, what's the worst that could happen if I did not take this risk, if I played it safe and took admission into the college that I was getting? And when I listed the answers to these two questions, it became a no-brainer. Because I knew that at max, I would fail once again. At max, I would be an year behind if I take the risk and fail. But if I did not take the risk, I'll have that regret throughout my life. That Naman, you had one dream and one opportunity towards it, you still did not take it. And I know that I was young. So I can always cover up the gap of one lost year. I can always cover up a failure with a success. But unfortunately, I can never go back in time and erase my regrets. So yes, welcome to the risk number one of my life. I took the drop. And according to a 12th standard student, the definition of hard work was locking himself in a room for days, just him and books, nothing else, and studying. And that is exactly what I did. I locked up myself in a room, not just for days, for months with books, just to realize that it not only saturated my mind, but deteriorated my physical health as well. And yes, the worst case that we thought of taking the risk happened. I failed JEE again. But this time, I had no regrets. This time, I knew what exactly was supposed to be done. This time, I knew what I did wrong. So I took admission into the college that I was getting, and right from first year, I did the complete opposite of what I did in my gap year. I locked myself up in a room in the gap year. This time, I went outside. I locked myself alone that time. This time, I made a team of three. Three like-minded people who were as hungry as me, who had the same vision and same goals as me, of cracking the highest placement of the college. We worked for a few days and all of a sudden I realized that I forgot what saturation actually felt like. Because the burden of locking myself up in a room all alone was replaced by the gamification of us competing against each other. Every day we used to compete like who will solve this coding question first? Who will get a better rank in this coding competition? Who is the one who is going to decode the logic of this coding problem? So it was an entire game for us. We were enjoying so much that we couldn't feel that we were working hard. It felt what they call effortless. And that is the time that you are going to succeed, when you know that it is coming naturally to you. If you are just thinking that you're working hard and you're sacrificing things, if you have that thing in your mind, you are going to get saturated because at the end of the day, we are humans, we are built of emotions and hormones. You will get saturated if you think that you are working hard. But if it is happening naturally to you, organically, effortlessly, you're not even trying and still you're competing, you're practicing every day, that is the time that you're going to succeed. So in my college third year, there was an opportunity called the Barclays All India Hackathon. Just before that, I decided that I will not appear for anything in my college, just for the love of coding. So papers used to consist of 60 marks and 40 marks used to be of internals, of unit tests, of assignments, of a lot of things. So I decided that I will skip the entire 40 marks for every subject from my first year to final year. I'll not appear for the 40 marks. I'll not submit any assignment in my college. I'll not give any unit test in my college. I'll get 0 out of 40 and I'll directly appear for the 60 marks paper and try to pass. That's it. And rest entire time of the time that I would have put in writing the assignments, the time that I would have put in giving the unit tests and studying for them, I will give that to coding. And that is exactly what I did. Every year I scored 0 out of 40 in my internals and directly gave the 60 marks paper. My CGPA felt like anything. I got a back in the second year of my college. Yes, I failed in one subject, but I had that self-belief that I can do it. Eventually, at the end of the day, it's going to be that interviewer and me and his questions. That's it. My skills are going to matter. So as I was telling, in third year, there was an opportunity called the Barclays All India Hackathon. We appeared for the online round of the hackathon. Out of thousands of teams, we got selected in the top 25 teams of the country. We went to the offline round at Pune, and while the hackathon was happening, they offered us interviews, and I cleared both the interviews. So I was in my college third year now, and I had a dream offer in my hand. While my college final year students were jobless, because their placements had just begun. Remember what we were talking about in my 12th standard, that at max I will be 1 year behind. I had covered that gap of the 1 year, because who were my peers back then are still jobless now. And now I have a dream offer in my hand right from my third year. We have successfully covered the gap of 1 year. We have successfully covered that failure with success just by learning that lesson in the drop year. After that, I went into my final year. I got another super dream offer and I joined that company. As I was working in the company, after a few months, I realized that life used to be a roller coaster. When I was in my 12th, I was taking random decisions, I was taking a drop, I was not giving exams, I was participating in hackathons. But when I was working in the company, life became very stagnant. All I used to do was go to office for 8-9 hours, come home, sleep, that's it. I didn't get time for any hobbies, I didn't get time to learn anything new, I didn't even get time to give to my family. I used to go home once in 3-4 months. So I was not getting time to do anything. It's just me going to the office for 8-9 hours, coming home, and in exchange of that, I was getting a good paycheck at the end of the month. So all of a sudden, there were voices in my head again, the same voices that were there in my 12th standard. Naman, you've got one life. Are you exchanging it with a paycheck? Okay, you're getting paid a lot, but are you exchanging your life with it? And I knew that I couldn't do the same thing for the next 40 years of my life. So I went to my friend, we started discussing startup ideas. And after my job, every day for 2 hours, 3 hours, we started working on a startup. It took 2.5 years, but that startup became a small thing. Though it was not generating any salary or any revenue for us, but it became a self-sustaining thing. That is the point in time we decided, should we leave our jobs? And at exact that moment when I was thinking that should I leave my job for the startup, I got an offer from the world's biggest company, Google. Google gave me an interview offer, making it even tougher for me. So now I had to decide between 3 things. Should I take the interview offer from Google? Should I keep doing my job that I was getting a good paycheck for? Or should I leave everything, become salaryless for months, and start building my startup? And this time again, I asked myself the exact same questions that I asked in my 12th standard. What is the worst case that could happen if I took this risk? If I resigned? If I went for my startup? And what is the worst case that can happen if I did not take this risk, if I played it safe? And the answers again made it a no-brainer for me. Because I knew that I was young, I was in my mid-20s. I can manage a risk now, but few years down the line, I will have the responsibility of raising a family. I cannot take any risk at that time. So I decided to resign my job. Because eventually I knew that even after 1, 2, 3 years of doing a startup, I can get back to the same job again. But I'll never be this young again. So me and my co-founder, we had our laptops open in front of us. We typed the resign mail on our respective laptops and we pressed the send button together. 3, 2, 1, resign. This is what we did. And we started building the startup. So right from having a salary to afford a posh 1 BHK in Bangalore, I found myself lying on a mattress A small mattress and 3 friends lying on the same mattress who were building a startup. That is how life became when we decided, because we had no salaries coming in. Our friends were going on trips, our friends were enjoying their lives, our friends were enjoying their weekends. We couldn't do anything. All we were doing were building a startup. But in 1.5 years, we worked very hard and the startup became something. It started generating revenue for us. And today, we have successfully helped 10,000 students across India get dream placements with our startup. And I wanted to help even more students. I wanted to help millions of you. So after that, in May 2025, I started my Instagram page. I became a tech creator as well apart from my startup. After starting my page, I just realized that in 7 months, I became one of the fastest tech creators in India to reach 1 million followers. And I reached 1 million followers exactly on my birthday, that is 30th December 2025, on the exact day. That is the power of manifestation. And I just have one message for all of you. In a few years, in 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, you will be 30, 31, 32. You will get married, you will raise a family. You will never be able to take a risk in your life after that point, ever again. If it's any time to take a risk now, it's now. Write your story and more importantly, take that risk. Thank you.